Alright, so this is going to be the engine bay portion on the 95 Ram 3500, or Dodge Ram on these, I guess, still. This does have the 8.1, so the big old V10 on there. Overall, sounds great, runs good, plenty of power. We did notice some leaks on this thing. You'll see some better videos on the undercarriage here, but you can kind of see a little bit of wetness down here. A little bit of wetness right along the rail here. While we're looking at the rails, it's good to note that there is no kind of damage or bends. Fluids all check out pretty good. I did have a couple concerns. The brake fluid is full but pretty dark, so definitely doesn't look like it's been flushed out in quite a bit of time. It's one of the more neglected fluids on cars, but those are just kind of points. I'm going to pause here, turn this off, and get in a little deeper. Alright, so while we have a little bit of quiet, this is the brake fluid reservoir, quite dark in there. Other thing under there, I did make note in our inspection portion, there's no filter in here, so definitely get that addressed. Belt looks pretty good, everything checks out great there. You can hear that tensioner when it was running. She squeaks pretty good. Once you get going, it kind of gets quieter, but at first that thing's screaming. You see here the radiator, brand new, looks like this was replaced recently. That could be part of the fluid down here. You can see your trans lines go through here as well, so just kind of keep an eye on something like that. Those clips are basically what holds that pressure line, so it could maybe be a leak. You can see a little bit of wetness down along here. So other thing, you do have set up for dual batteries. They only have one in it, newer battery over there. Along the top here you can see the wiring. Here's your basically it's your junction, controls the voltage on both sides instead of just having one system fed. Truck does have ABS, brakes, everything check out really good. Not too bad for a 95. The mileage does say I think around 104, but it's hard to tell when these roll over. So the winch on this thing does have a remote inside, which I'll show you once we get onto the interior portion, but it's going to finish our engine bay portion here. Alright, so this is going to be our exterior portion. For a truck that's been used for work, it's pretty clean. I mean, we got our obvious dings and dents. You'll see like the bumper has little dings here. Got your air vents here for the air ride. Trailer 7-pin updated. But the fiberglass that they used on these are all in really good shape. No chipping or any kind of weird alignment. All the trim's still there, a little oxidized, but still there. Steps are in good shape, tough, secure. Almost knocked myself over kicking that, you know what I mean? We did notice front hubcaps missing, the little covers that go on there. Could be the style. I like it to be closed off, just protect my lug nuts. Gets rusty. On the bumper guard here, it looks like they did kind of booger weld this to kind of keep it up. It's the only one I noticed on that. This is mounted to a little cross member up in the front here. Controllers on the inside, I did mention that and show it. I didn't mess with the operation because I didn't see it hooked up with the one battery only hooked up at this time. I did not want to mess with all that. There's your other cap. Tires in good shape. You got Firestone in the front, Ironman in the rears, good tread on them, fairly new. These are getting probably say like 30%. I think they measured out about 30 seconds on there, so pretty soon, especially if you're going to be hauling with this, because that wears pretty quickly. The rack on this is nice. Kind of touch base on that a little more on the trunk portion, but I just like to show the fenders on these fiberglass, make sure they look really good. Other thing I noticed, door gaps look really nice. I always open up the doors. It's always good to kind of check in here. If it looks like any of this stuff's been messed with or not painted or any kind of weirdness there, it's probably been removed. Something's been up. But you can see in here, still has, my finger might be in the way. There's still the paint mark on that bolt in the hinge, which is wild. It's like almost 30 years now. Mirrors aren't the big tow mirrors, but they are powered. And then windshield wipers, man. You need some windshield wipers on this thing. All the lights, everything work. I'll have another portion of the video where I kind of show everything, highlight it. That's going to be the exterior. Really just some dings, some dents. It's kind of hard to show, but you can kind of see like ding, like some rocks or hail maybe. It's not consistent with both sides, but it is on the hood. Not really too much on the top. So alright, this is going to be our undercarriage portion. I did want to kind of show just some active dripping that we have going. That's just while sitting here. It kind of just smells like coolant. You can see up in the mirror, if you look at the mirror as well, it's kind of wet up in here. You see some fluid all over that shock. So I'm not sure, because it looks like transmission fluid, because the power steering, I didn't hear or see or anything weird. It's going to be your track bar and everything. Seem tight. A good way I always test that is when the vehicle's stationary on the ground, you turn the wheel left and right. If the body moves above the axle, you got some problems. Or if the wheels just turn and the car stays on top of the axle, you're looking good. So, but it is wet down here. I do want to highlight that. Got some leaks on this thing coming from that front area. Like I said, the radiator was replaced. And those trans lines are on there. I don't know if they just made a mess and didn't clean it when it was replaced. That would be my other guesstimate. Go to the other side here. We're also looking at the frame when we do this. We don't want to see any bends, kinks, welds, repairs. You know what I mean? Suspension, everything check out pretty good. Nothing wet, nothing looking like it's blown out, sounding like it's clicking or banging. Nothing drooping or hanging. That's what we're looking for. We're going to go over to each corner and kind of show the frame and body. Alright, so 4-link on these. You can kind of see some wetness. Your pan right there for the trans, the bell housing, and then oil pan. It's all pretty good wet. That's your frame. Some good surface rust. Nothing's like really chipping or flaking off of it. Just kind of that surface, like sandpapery stuff. I usually recommend getting a good undercoat, especially up in these northern areas. And you see your body, the top of the frame. Really good. Pinch welds are all nice. No rust or anything. Go to the back portion here. This is going to be your cab corner, frame, gas tank, and you got your cats and your carrier bearing. This is going to be perch number 1 on your leaf spring. Pretty good. The surface rust, got to get a handle on that. And pause, go to the rear. Alright, so this is a frame mounted hitch. This is going to be your other perch. Shocks are fairly newer in the rear. Spare tire is there. A little bit of wetness on the diff. Frame looks pretty straight. Hop over to this side. Exhaust frame. If you look closely on the axle here, you can see some of that wetness from when you're driving. So whatever's leaking or was leaking did make a mess. So definitely get it looked at. It's going to be your other perch here. You can see the wetness from the oils. Makes it look like it's a new leaf spring, you know? And then your exhaust. You see here, newer cats. The frame, not so bad. This side's getting oiled while you drive, so this one has as much surface rust. Come up here. This is going to be your cab body mount. Looks really good. Sorry about that. This is going to be your cab, front corner, frame, 4-link. All looking good. Just got to get that surface rust and the oil leak addressed. Alright, this is the engine bay portion. At the time of inspection, it says 104. It's kind of hard to tell if these things have turned over when they're these analog ones. Gauges all check out pretty good. The low fuel light was on during the drive, not on now. You can see the gauge kind of pegged. There it is. So I'm not sure if that's being accurate or not. I haven't had any sputtering or anything. I did do my drive. Oh, it's kind of sputtering a little bit now. Climate control all works as intended. Air got cool and everything. And then radio actually works. Sounds pretty good. Your overdrive on and off. It has manual for high, low. And then your airbags has a little gauge there. I didn't see a controller anywhere. Trailer brakes down here. It does have power mirrors, not the very big tow mirrors, but it has power mirrors, and then it also has power doors locks. Gonna shut this down and I'm gonna open up the doors and everything and just kind of show you everything from the outside in. So door card here. This is gonna be those burn marks that I was talking about on the inspection portion. Everything works, windows go up and down, door opens and closes just fine. On the seat, you can see some wear here. The fella did say that you were already aware of this portion. It's been like, it's like a fabric-y kind of plastic tape. Carpets are pretty good. They're not, no holes or anything. Has actual period correct Dodge match, which is wild. They have a little bit of staining here and there. You can see, you know, the truck's been used for work, but they're not torn up or anything, which is great. So you can clean them if you're pretty good at that. Other thing is the headliner, a little bit of sag on that one, just behind you. It doesn't block your mirror or anything. Slider windows, these wing windows do work as well. It looks like they've been closed for quite some time. It was a little hard to get them open. Be careful with the plastics. Like I said, it was really hard. I was very nervous. We're gonna switch sides. All right, this is your passenger door card. Really good shape on this one. Seat here folds up. This is not a 3-door, it's just a 2-door. So you gotta jump in the back. Back seat's pretty nice. And carpet's in decent shape. Seatbelts and everything work. On that driver's side, when you pull this down, it doesn't come all the way back. There's a little bit of slack down at the bottom, but nothing crazy. This is going to be your mirror that's not on the windshield. And then your winch controller. Glove box with an owner's manual. Pull that back. Boom. Push that back just like so. Folds up for the workbench. Has a side latch here. That's hard from the passenger. That looks really nice still. Nothing broken, nothing closes just fine. Looks good. And then this is gonna be your cup holders here. I always like to show that you have cup holders. Kind of weird how they put them on the top of the dashes on these older stuff, but who knows? In sight, maybe you drink it faster. Interior, pretty good on this for the age. I'm pretty impressed. All right, trunk portion, truck bed, obviously, for the truck. Dually pickup. Handle works. It's diamond plated on that rear portion. Bolted in there. A couple bolts have come free. It's lined. You can kind of see some dents here and there, some scraping. But it's not terrible. The drains and everything work. A little bit of scuffing along the trim on this plastics here. Diamond plated along the tops here. Pretty good shape. One thing I always worry about when I see this stuff is rust forming underneath. Has a good rack on it. Pretty tall, pretty stout. Secured pretty good. Has nice plates on here. It does also have like tie spots, so you can put like straps and stuff on there, loops. But that's gonna conclude your trunk or truck bed on these. All right, real fast portion here. This is an OBD1 truck, so we don't have an actual OBD2 port. We don't have an OBD1 port. This is more of a fuse block. Kind of just get the light to flash and it'll tell you any kind of codes if you ever have a check engine light. Nothing popped out this time, but I just don't have the way to scan on these older models. The first year for the OBD scan port is 1996, so you just missed that one. One thing I didn't mention on the interior portion, I'll say it here though. The cruise control does not work. I couldn't get it to come on. The buttons and everything are easy and work and everything, but I could not get that to work. I don't know, no lights came on for that. All right, we're gonna start the conclusion portion. I like to light these up, give it the highlights at the end, you know. Overall, pretty good for a V10, real smooth. Good power, kicks down really good, shifts great. Was a little bit sluggish off the takeoff, but I mean, it's not a race car. I feel like it takes a little more input than what I want to get going. Body's in great shape. All the lights and everything are working good, so that's good. And yeah, I think she's gonna run out of fuel here, so we'll make this quick. But I'm gonna pause real quick and turn this off, but I just want to show all the lights and everything lit up on here. It looks good. All right, she's powered down. Really overall a good inspection, I would say, for a 30-year-old truck. The mileage says 104 at this time, but I was explaining on there, the analog ones, it's kind of hard to tell if these roll over. I did have the window cracked while it's rolling. Running, some of these will lock by themselves. It's fun. The winch, could not test. I do want to talk about that with the second battery. I think all the connections are just taken off. The steering to the left and the wheel not being lined up, I want to get that addressed, and the leaks on the car. But like I said, good power, starts right up, does need some fuel in it, drives nice, not bumpy, doesn't kind of wander at all, just pulls to that left. And like I said, that wheel's not lined up, so that part of it, you know. That's going to be an active conclusion. Pretty good inspection on this one.